How much will Ethereum be worth in 2025? I'm sure a lot of you guys have had this question, and if you're into crypto at all in any way, I'm sure you've heard the name Ethereum before. I know a lot of people who aren't into crypto and are very familiar with Ethereum, and why is that? Well, Ethereum really, when it comes down to it, is one of the best crypto investments out there, at least in my personal opinion. And cryptocurrency in general has been sort of, kind of guided by Bitcoin. I think people can agree on that, but Ethereum has always been the second in command ever since, years ago when it literally used to be $75 per Ethereum. And I remember this, and I actually used to own some back then, which I unfortunately did not hold on to. I remember vividly Ethereum being $75 per Ethereum. That's just absolutely wild. And I think a lot of you guys as well, when Bitcoin and crypto in general was kind of in that recession, will also remember that. Some way, somehow, Ethereum really did rise from the ashes more than a lot of other cryptos did. I love Cardano as much as the next guy in Chainlink and all that, but really Ethereum has been the MVP over the past 6 months or so, even with recent dips, Bitcoin heading down to 28,000. Ethereum really has been the MVP. The question is, how much will this investment be worth in a few years, and is Ethereum a good investment for 2025 if you were planning on holding on to it for that long? The first thing I want to get out of the way is that crypto is very volatile. I'm sure most of you guys could agree with this, but I think over time it is going to get a little less volatile, and I think you guys could probably agree with me on that. And recently, as Bitcoin hit 50,000, it obviously headed down a little bit, into like the mid 48s, and then instantly snapped back. So I think over time it's going to get a little less volatile. I think we'll have sort of permanent lines of support where, okay, Ethereum is not going to get below 2,500 ever again. Okay, Ethereum is not going to get below 3,000 ever again, and that I think that number is going to keep moving up here into the near future as these become more stable investments. Of course, I think the altcoins will always continue to go wild because that's kind of what altcoins do, but I think for now Ethereum is going to stay consistent, and I think it's going to consistently establish new levels where it really isn't heading below. Now, believe me, as much as I would love to go snag another Ethereum here at $80, I don't think it's going to hit $80 ever again. I just don't think that's possible. And again, I wish I could go back in time and slap myself, but I can't. So the question is, so you guys aren't slapping yourself in the future, how much will Ethereum be worth in 2025? And again, I'm not a financial advisor, just my personal opinion. But when we take a look at the facts here, obviously right now Ethereum is sitting here at around 3,350, which is absolutely wonderful. And this is a massive improvement from where we've been here over the past month or so. At one point here, down to a little below 2,000, which wasn't particularly great. So right now Ethereum is doing fantastic. But the idea here is that over time, as improvements are made, and of course as Bitcoin continues to perform well, Ethereum will improve. So according to this price prediction here, and this is from Coin Price Forecast here, as you guys can see, we have the year, and according to the latest long-term forecast, the price will hit 5,000 by the end of 2021, and then 10,000 by the end of 2023. So the guess here is that mid-year of 2025, it'll be worth 12,099, and then by the end of the year, they're anticipating a tiny bit of a pullback here at 11,418. Now, for some reason, they have this year at around 11,000 for 3 years straight, and I don't really know why that is, but that's just what some of these analysts here have said. Now, there are a lot of other people who've given some opinions on this. Of course, Forbes, obviously, perhaps one of the most respected, financial, magazines out there, basically said, of course, obviously after a remarkable recovery and whatnot, they expect the price to hit 4,600 by the end of 2021. And this was in late July, so they were looking at that little pullback, obviously, which kind of saved it from that, 1,800 kind of range. But the idea here is that Ethereum could be worth 8,000. Perhaps by the end of the year in 2022. And of course, they're saying based on momentum, 17,810 by the end of 2025. And that's absolutely wild. That would be well over 4 times what it is worth right now. So that would definitely be, I think, a pleasant surprise for a lot of people here. But the number one thing that people have to sort of think about here is, when does Ethereum 2.0 actually get released and implemented? Now, recently we had the London hard fork update, which in simple terms course, again, I'm no blockchain legend out there. I know there are a lot of people who are. I'm personally not, but from my understanding of the way the London hard fork works, basically miners don't really make as much as they used to, because there was a system in place before where miners would sort of cover a lot of what was spent on gas, where they would basically pick up the gas price, where now the tip is left to miners. So not the actual transaction, but the tip. So the only time miners now are actually making money is when someone chooses to up their GWEI, I've never heard how to pronounce that, but GWEI, whenever people have, sought to increase that to make their transaction go faster, miners out there will take the tip. They'll take exactly the extra if you want to rush your transaction. So according to some of the facts here, obviously, they give you a little bit of information here about the London hard fork update. Of course, it did release earlier in this August, and I'm sure you guys might remember that, but what it does is it introduces a minimum payment that the gas fee for Ethereum transactions, aiming to stabilize transaction fees. So the base fee adjusts, obviously, and so while there is a base fee, users can also choose to tip miners with a priority fee. So this is if they want their transaction to complete faster. So if you want to send Ethereum in 15 seconds as opposed to 30 seconds, you could pay a little bit more. Usually it's, only 50 cents more or something. It's not an awful lot, but you could choose to pay more, and that extra, whatever extra you choose to pay, is what miners are getting out there. So as you guys can see, they say, it ensures that only Ethereum can ever be used to pay for transactions. And obviously they say that this, of course, did not help miners by any means. But, of course, no matter the miners' animosity to EIP 1559, this is a smaller change in comparison to the impact Ethereum 2.0 will have. We'll, of course, see a full shift to Ethereum staking via a proof of stake algorithm. Now, if you haven't been following proof of stake, basically what this is going to do is in 2022, known as Serenity, of course, it's going away from that proof of work system, which is, of course, also used by Bitcoin, towards proof of stake. And that's the benefit of having actual Ethereum devs, where Bitcoin, of course, doesn't at this point. Having actual Ethereum devs, definitely does help, because they'll continue to make improvements with this. And the full release, of course, is not expected to happen until 2022. So, of course, what this will do essentially, of course, obviously not a new coin, but it is an upgrade which will have more of an impact on miners than holders, as the shift to proof of stake will see staking take over from mining to improve transactions. So, by staking Ethereum in 2022, that is how essentially you'll allow for transactions to go, as opposed to mining. So, there definitely is a difference here, of course, a lot more energy efficient, and I think this could easily propel Ethereum into 2022, and of course continue improving it in the future, because obviously EIP 1559 was great. The London hard fork definitely did help Ethereum. And I think a lot of people can agree that did increase efficiency, obviously, instead of the sort of bid system that they had before. But definitely Ethereum 2.0, I think, really could be game-changing. So in my view, I think from a very safe, sort of conservative estimate, I will combine a couple of the estimates made by some of the people that I read. So there were estimates ranging anywhere from around 10,000 to around, 50,000 on some more, let's say, hyperbolic estimates. But in my personal opinion, I think from a safe standpoint, if you look at previous momentum here with cryptocurrency, and if we really look at the all, I think this is definitely a good idea. So we have, of course, one sort of major movement here up in, this was back in 2018, of course, when we hit 1,000, and then of course, we kind of lost a little steam and whatnot, and it kind of trailed back down, obviously after the whole crypto boom kind of ended, hanging out here in the low hundreds. So if we assume that this cycle is to repeat, in that this peak here at around 1,000, which obviously lost a lot of that growth, if we assume that this is a very similar sort of peak here at around 4,000, or maybe even again, with this recent run, maybe 4,000 or 5,000, I would guess that that run would end after a while, after being pushed to 5,000 or 6,000, hurdle back down to probably 3 or 4, and then repeat perhaps once or twice. So you could do the math in your head, but I would guess personally by 2025 in a safe estimate that Ethereum will be worth somewhere between $9,000 and $12,000. That's my personal estimate. Again, no one knows for sure. If we did know, we would probably be buying a lot more Ethereum. But in my personal opinion, I will guess somewhere between $9,000 and $12,000. And this is just basic, sort of math here saying, hey, that, if this last, sort of bull run, which you're in right now, pushes to, perhaps even 5,000 or 6,000, during a bear cycle, we may be pushed to 3,500 to 4. And then if that cycle happens again in perhaps 2023 or 2024, we could watch it being pushed to, maybe 9,000 or 10,000. Same thing, falls back on the support line of maybe 6 or 7. And then by 2025, we would be, hey, somewhere between 9,000 and 12,000. So that's just a basic estimate, of course, when looking at bull and bear cycles and the way those things sort of work. But I definitely am interested to hear what you guys have to say down below in the comments. Do you guys believe that there is a future in investing in Ethereum? Because honestly, like I said, I believe that it probably is the best cryptocurrency out there. And if you guys are looking to level up your investments, check out my Webull link, guys, down below in the description if you guys want to get some free money. Of course, you can get up to 4 free stocks valued up to $2,300. I know a lot of you guys out there have a Binance account, have a Coinbase account, and whatnot, but literally, folks, this takes 2 minutes to do, and it's like the easiest $20 you'll ever make. So link down below in the description. If you guys want to get started, you have to use my link, though, because you're awesome. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed. If you guys have any questions, let me know down below in the comments. Again, not the biggest blockchain savant out there, but this is from my basic understanding as someone who's interested in investing and financial vehicles in general. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Drop a like. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.